Good afternoon. My name is Michael Vasquez, and I'm covering the Industrial Revolution. First of all, my ChatGPT questions. My prompt was, can you give me 3 historical primary sources, quotes from the first Industrial Revolution about working conditions in the Industrial Revolution from a young boy that moved from Sicily to the United States? I asked this question because I knew that it wouldn't be super easy to find. The response it gave me was, it's actually very unlikely you'll find a primary source from a Sicilian boy in the United States during the first Industrial Revolution. The first quote was from Lewis Hine. Hine documented child laborers, including Italian boys. I work in the mill every day from 7 in the morning until 6 at night. I get so tired, I fall asleep right after supper. All right, next slide. Some key points: the Industrial Revolution was full of hard workers. Children were expected to do the same work as grown men, and some of the kids were not even paid. The demand for jobs was so high that the workers were paid so little because they were desperate for work. They would do anything, even for a little scrap change. During the Industrial Revolution, workers did not have laws protecting their rights. This led to workers being mistreated. It meant some of their workers would die after or during because it was so hard that they had to work for so long. Next, I will be going over treatment, reasoning, and hours. Firstly, treatment. All of the workers were taken advantage of because of the high demand of work. They were treated similar to slaves, and there were too many workers for the managers to actually care about the individual. A quote from the video, Day in the Life of a Worker in the Industrial Revolution, says, some of the kids would drop dead on the road. The kids would drop dead on the road because the only breaks they would have were sleeping and eating. Next, hours. Men and women would work about 100 hours a week. Another quote from the Day in the Life of a Worker in the Industrial Revolution. To put that in perspective, a software engineer works about 40 hours a week. And now a normal 9-to-5 worker works about 40 hours a week. But working a physical job, especially for kids, is super hard. Lastly, reasoning. The Industrial Revolution required so many workers to put in so much time because technology was advancing so fast. Personal reflection. Learning about the Industrial Revolution made me realize how easy life is for me. I feel like I'm very privileged and sometimes fall into the trap, especially on social media, that American working class is modern-day slavery. I realize how untrue this is and how many people have life on easy mode. Secondly, topics I learned about the Industrial Revolution that surprised me most of workers would work up to 100 hours. I know I mentioned that earlier, but that's crazy. They didn't have time to have hobbies, or I'm confused how they got a boyfriend or girlfriend or even married. But that just sparks the question, did anyone have any hobbies outside of work? My second question was, how long did this cruel work environment last for? This study changed my perspective on the topic and made me feel worse about calling off of work today. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day.